Hello kids, good afternoon. Welcome to Kalpesh's Guide to Political Science. First of all, I would like to tell you that this 10th standard is very important for us to score marks. Your entire career is based on 10th standard examination. And one of the best way to get more percentage is to focus on social studies. Yes, of that social studies, I'm talking about SST1, history, and political science. You get 12 marks to write about civics. Yes, you're right, you heard right, civics. Political science is also called as civics. Now let us learn about this. What do you mean by political science? Political science is a branch of social science. Yes, it is basically concerned about political behavior, political systems, and the most important point is politics. Now, many a times we have been using synonyms, right? Similar words, words having same meaning. Political science is many a times replaced by the word called as civics. So now let us learn what is civics. I know it is not there into your syllabus, but this is important to learn. Civics comes first, then comes political science. It comes from the Latin word civis, meaning citizen. The English usage of the word civics means the behavior. Yes, children, behavior affecting other citizens. ये सिर्फ आप ही की जिंदगी के लिए नहीं है. आप एक सोसाइटी का हिस्सा हो. So how does your behavior affect others? And when you are living in an urban area, you can't say, I'm free to do whatever I like. Yes, you are, but it should not adversely affect others. वो दूसरों को तकलीफ नहीं देना चाहिए. Like you want to listen to loud music, carry on, it's your wish. लेकिन वो loud music अगर आपके neighbors को तकलीफ देता है, that's not good. Yes, kids. Then they can complain to the police and action can be taken against you. So that is how you have to learn. Civics mein, it's very wonderful. It makes you a good person. It makes you a civic citizen. Right? Yes. और ये civic citizen के सुरक्षा के लिए, protection के लिए, हमारे संविधान, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने हमें कुछ राइट्स दिए हैं और हमें कुछ ड्यूटीज बताई हैं. किसने? संविधान ने. So let's learn about working of the constitution. Let's start with the first chapter, and this is a glance. Your entire first chapter in front of you. It is divided into 3 parts: democracy, social justice and equality, and judicial system. A brief question can be asked to you on any one of this. Or you can get a 2-mark question on every sub-question, every point that I've mentioned inside these major points. For example, you can write a short note on political maturity for 2 marks. Or why is India considered to be the largest democracy which is based on right to vote for 2 marks. You can also get in question as write a short note on right to information, which is the 4th point in democracy. This is the way you have to prepare. Only 11 points and the chapter is done, kids. These are the 11 points. And these 11 points make up your entire chapter number 1, working of the constitution. So let's start. My dear kids, our constitution was prepared on 26th of November 1949, but it came into force on 26th of January 1950. So you have two objectives over here. They can be asked to you as fill in the blanks, or it can be asked to you as match the column. For example, when did Indian Constitution come into force? A 1-mark question. And the answer is, the Indian Constitution came into force on 26th of January 1950. This is what you learn about your Constitution. Okay, this is the first chapter. The slide shows you the first chapter that you are going to learn. Now, what are the objectives of Constitution? Let's learn that. It's a 2-mark question again. My dear child, India is a huge country. There are many people belonging to different religions staying in India. 96 crore Hindus, 23 crores Muslims, Islam, more than 2 crore Sikhs, and other religions. But the best part of our constitution is that we are a secular state. Yes, my dear kids, we are a secular state. It means that Indian constitution does not prescribe any religion to be as a state religion. पाकिस्तान ने अपना स्टेट रिलीजन इस्लाम को डिक्लेयर किया है. बाकी बहुत सारे देश हैं जिन्होंने बुद्धिज्म को डिक्लेयर किया है, बट इंडिया ने किसी भी रिलीजन को स्टेट रिलीजन डिक्लेयर नहीं किया है. वी आर अ डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक. दैट मीन्स आवर गवर्नमेंट इज बाय द पीपल, आवर गवर्नमेंट इज ऑफ द पीपल, एंड आवर गवर्नमेंट इज फॉर द पीपल. And because we are a democratic republic, we have our own constitution who protects every citizen of India. Next is justice based on equality. Yes, justice based on equality. Whether you are a male or a female, a white or a black, a Hindu or a Christian, a Muslim or a Buddhist, justice will be given to everyone, not keeping into mind your caste, your creed, your sex, your religion, or whatsoever. The last point, but not least, is to protect the freedom of common man. My dear kids, हम लोग मूवी देखने जाते हैं, we come home late, late night shows, 1 बजे छूटते हैं, 1:30 बजे छूटते हैं, but we don't have to go to the police. राइट हमें पुलिस के पास जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. हम हमारी गाड़ी निकालते हैं, रिक्शा पकड़ते हैं, डायरेक्ट आ जाते हैं घर पे, बिकॉज वी नो पुलिस इज देयर टू प्रोटेक्ट अस. यू गो डाउन टू परचेस मिल्क, देयर इज नो हार्म. यू गो अलोन टू अ गार्डन, देयर इज नो हार्म, बिकॉज वी नो देयर इज पुलिस, देयर इज स्टेट टू हेल्प अस, एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन गिव्स इट अ प्रायोरिटी. The citizens come first. We can sum up that Indian Constitution is a means through which a progressive developed society based on social justice and equality will be established. There are only 3 parts as discussed earlier to learn in this chapter. And the 3 aspects are democracy, social justice, and judicial system. I repeat, the main 3 points to be focused are democracy, social justice, and judicial system. I end my first lecture over here and very soon meet you with the second lecture on chapter 1 of Civics 10th Standard Maharashtra Board. Thank you. All the best.